Before we begin this episode, I would like to give my sincere thoughts and prayers to the victims, their families, and all those greatly impacted by the devastating tragedy that happened in New Orleans on New Year's morning. The city is a special one, filled with an incredible community, rich tradition and history, and does not deserve to go through that kind of pain. Nola, I stand with you, and my heart is with you for the rest of my life. Thank you so much, and with that being said, enjoy episode 15 of the Yap House Podcast. Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to episode 15 of the Yap House Podcast. I'm very, very excited to be here today with you guys. I know it's been a little while since I have not recorded an episode in a long time. Just been a little bit conservative over break, just kind of taking the time to myself, just kind of relaxing. I'm also doing a winter course, which I'll talk about in a bit. But just taking the time to myself, just trying to figure everything out for next semester, figure out a plan for next semester, figure out a routine, because I really don't have one yet, unlike last semester where I had a really good one. But I'm sure I think I have it figured it out by now, and then we're gonna put that plan in motion very, very soon. See, I got a new microphone. I got lav mics instead of the stick mic that I formerly use. I think I like these ones a little bit better. I still have to try and adjust the audio a little bit, but I'm still trying to figure out how to connect multiple microphones to my computer so I can have multiple guests on here. If you guys have any suggestions on how to do that, you can definitely let me know in the comments. But in this episode, we're going to go over some stuff. We're going to do our sports talk, but we're also just going to go through what I'm doing next semester, and I'm also gonna show you guys a lot of the social media stuff I did during the time when I wasn't recording an episode. I went to New Orleans for a business trip. I did make a little a Devil's Game vlog, a New Year's Eve vlog, or something like that. I'm gonna show you guys a lot, but we are going to start with we are going to start with valuable things I've learned in 2024, and I have the list right here on my phone. I'm going to read off my phone because it still sticks. Today, and it's something I hopefully things I've learned in 24, and then I can just carry it over to this year, 2025. First thing is that everything you want in life is earned, not given. I think that's pretty self-explanatory. You really want something, you gotta earn it. It's not gonna be given to you these days. This one's a little bit hard to read because of TikTok. Your circle, like of your people, whatever, it needs to be balanced with the right people for you, and you got to be the spark. You got to be the spark for your people. You got to make them feel like they deserve to be in your circle, make a difference in someone's life. That's the last sentence I put there on the TikTok that I made about it. It's very important to be different from everyone else. And I actually learned that more as we got deeper into this semester. I think someone told me what they learned from this year. She kind of said the same thing, and I still apply it to me. This is a big one for me. Never, ever feel sorry for yourself. Never regret the decisions you make. I was kind of taught this by my high school football coach. It's just to never feel sorry for yourself, and that's a strong characteristic to have for, you really want to be a strong mental person and things like that. When you have a personal lifetime goal, it will make you work that much harder to get it. Work harder than everyone else. I was also taught that by one of the bosses I had during my time at LSU here. Next one is have the biggest heart, have the biggest personality out of everyone you know, because they will have no clue. They won't have a clue of the person that they're missing out on in their life. So, be flexible with whatever you want your professions to be. Have multiple options in your life. And this completely applies to the profession I want to get into, be in the sports industry. And let me tell you, I am very, very flexible with all this because there is so much that I want to do in the sports industry. It's not just broadcasting. Like, obviously my dream job is to be a broadcaster, but there's so many other things I can do as well for my life to be. So that's why you have to be flexible with whatever you professions be. The words here are small. If something happens that doesn't go your way, you got to let it go. The only way you get mentally tougher is if you move forward and have that next day mindset, or next minute or next day mindset. That happened, you just got to forget about it and move on. Pretty self-explanatory. And then my last one is stay humble and take every shot with confidence. I mean, that's pretty self-explanatory as well. I think self-confidence is obviously, self-confidence is necessary amongst everyone, but sometimes it's not there for some people, and that's what I am trying to help a lot of people with, is to try to just figure themselves out. You don't have to be overly confident. I mean, if you're overly confident, that's obviously not good, but it's just a good characteristic to have. You know what I mean? Throughout your life and throughout whatever job you have, and you just gotta have the confidence to perform to your abilities. Quiet confidence is what I say, because you don't want to say I can do this, and then don't do it. That's kind of like cocky, you know what I mean? So just important to have confidence, have self-love, and we'll go from there. All right, let's do our sports talk that we do. Let's talk about the college football playoff first. I think one thing I learned from watching all these games is that you got to get rid of the buys. You got to get rid of the buys that have the conference champions. Get rid of the buys. Get rid of those automatic bids with the buys where the highest conference champions get those auto buys. You got to get rid of that. It's really just got to be the 12 best teams in the field, and then Boise, Arizona State would still be in, but I don't think Clemson would be in. That spot probably would have gone to Bama or something, even though they didn't deserve it that year. But the games have honestly been very, very fun to watch. Yes, some of them have been blowouts, but it's been just really good for college football. Just seeing those incredible environments in those home games, and the divisional. I said divisional as if it's NFL. We'll get to NFL in a second, but the quarterfinal matchups, they were okay. Some of them were okay. I think Boise competed with Penn State really well, kind of near the end where they just kind of ran out of gas. But holy shit, how about that game between Texas and Arizona State? That's probably one of like the top five. Yeah, I'd probably say top 5 playoff games ever, or maybe not top 5, maybe like top 7 or 8, but it's definitely close there. Just the momentum swings in that game. Arizona State was able to make a remarkable comeback, and then took double overtime, and that was just an incredible game. I'm very disappointed with Oregon. Very, very disappointed with Oregon. I thought they would come out a lot better, especially since they were undefeated going in. But Ohio State just absolutely manhandled them. Jeremiah Smith is a freaking beast, and he will be from years to come. But just disappointed. Just very, very disappointed with Oregon and the way they came out in that game. Obviously, you got to give credit to Ohio State for just jumping on them early, and I see why they are the favorites to win the Natty now. They just cannot be stopped on all sides of the ball right now, and that game between them and Texas is going to be incredible. Speaking of that game, Ohio State versus Texas, who do I think will win? I don't know. We'll leave that for another episode. I mean, I feel like that game is just so evenly matched. Great offenses. Both have outstanding defenses. Like I think they're like the top 2 or 3 defenses in the country. So that's just going to be a phenomenal game. I hope it's a competitive game. I hope Ohio State does not blow them out and Texas makes it competitive, because that's just what you want as a fan. You know what I mean? I want to see competitive football. I want to see the game against Tennessee or Oregon. I want to see a close game down to the wire. Yeah. And then Notre Dame has been performing pretty well in these playoffs so far. That game against Indiana, yeah, that was kind of a given to them. Indiana was outmatched in that game, pretty much start to finish. But that game against Georgia, that performance is what Notre Dame can be the rest of the way. They were incredible. And we know that Gunnar Stockton is a running quarterback. I don't know how many sacks they had against him. They had like 3 or 4 sacks. I don't remember, but they got to him, and he and Gunnar just couldn't do anything. And that's why that was just an outstanding performance, especially by that defense all around. And obviously the offense did enough. Offense did enough to win the game for them. But obviously the turning point in that game was when the defense made a big strip sack in the end of the first half, went up 10, and then that kickoff return touchdown, and then Georgia just could not get back. Notre Dame's defense was just absolutely suffocating. So props to them. And now they have a semifinal showdown with Penn State in Miami. I will watch that game start to finish. Unfortunately, I cannot watch the other game, Ohio State, Texas, because I have something in New Orleans, which I will get to in a second. But yeah, Notre Dame versus Penn State. That game is also evenly matched as well. Great defenses, that one specific star on defense, and quarterbacks who have played really, really well in this playoff so far. And that game is honestly as even as it gets. I really don't know who's going to win that game, but like I said, I just want to see competitive, fun football. I'm excited to see the crowd there because, like, I don't remember the last time Notre Dame or Penn State was in the Orange Bowl, but I'm excited to see the crowd there as well, like half white, half Notre Dame green and gold and stuff like that. But we'll get so yeah, those are covering the semifinals, and we'll talk about the national championship in likely the next episode. The NFL playoffs start this Saturday. We have our matchups. The Chiefs are the 1 seed. We have the Bills and the Broncos. We have the Steelers and the Ravens, and we have the Chargers and the Texans in the AFC. Shout out to the Broncos for finally being back in the postseason for the first time in forever. Good to see them, what they've done with Sean Payton and a rookie quarterback. You don't often see rookie quarterbacks in the postseason these days, but hey, look at Jaden Daniels. So, yeah, I mean, if they're going to win that game against the Bills, their defense has to play well. Their defense has to be different in the game. Obviously, they lead the league in sacks. So the key in that game is going to be the Denver defense. But Steelers and the Ravens in the other game. I mean, the Steelers aren't really that good right now. So in my mind, I think the Ravens should win easy. But obviously, it's AFC North where bullshit happens all the time. So I feel like that's good. That's going to be a competitive game down to the wire simply because it's a rivalry and it's just AFC North football, which is like low scoring defense and stuff like that. But then the other game, we had the Chargers and the Texans. CJ Stroud, he's in a sophomore slump this year for some reason. I'm not sure why. I thought he would be better from last season to this season, but that just has not happened. So I think I'm going to take the Chargers in that game. I think what Jim Harbaugh has done to this team in year one is just absolutely outstanding. And I think that Charger team can make a deep playoff run. They have one of the best defenses in the league, and they have an offense that's good enough to win games. They have an offense that's single-handedly good enough to win games for them. I mean, take the Denver game for example. They were on fire, and yes, I know it's the Patriots, but they've kind of been good lately. Yes, it's against less competition, but that kind of momentum can gel to the postseason. So we'll see what happens. And then NFC, the Packers and the Eagles, the Buccaneers and the Commanders, and we have the Vikings and the Rams. The Rams and the Vikings, a rematch from that Thursday night game, that horrible face mask call. I think the Vikings should win this game, but honestly, it's not going to be easy for them because the Rams in the postseason with everyone are scary. They almost beat Detroit last year with but obviously they don't have Aaron Donald. They're not going to have Aaron Donald this year. And that's the Rams are interesting because they're so good when healthy, but they're sometimes a little bit inconsistent. Like that game against the Cardinals, they couldn't do anything with Kupp and Nakua. So they're going to have to really get it going if they're going to pull the upset. But I feel like the Vikings are going to get another shot at Detroit in the divisional round. So I think I have the Vikings winning that game, and the Buccaneers and the Commanders. I have the Commanders winning that game. I have the Commanders winning that game. It's just all around as a team, they're better than the Buccaneers. I mean, I know they played in Week 1. But I just think the Commanders are better than the Bucs at this time in the year. So I have that game, and then the Packers and the Eagles. Obviously, the Packers pulled a 7-seed upset last year against the Cowboys. I do not think that's the case this year, and I think the Eagles are going to make a deep playoff run because they have arguably the most complete roster in the league with the skill players on offense, some of the best, and a defense full of playmakers. It's going to take a lot for the Packers to pull a 7-seed upset for the second year in a row. But hey, we'll see if they can do it. It's going to take a full group effort, and obviously I don't believe in them, but I know the only people that believe in them is themselves. So we'll see this weekend. So that's NHL. That's NFL for you. In terms of NHL updates, my Devils are on a 4-game losing streak right now, so that's not good. Let's see if the Capitals that lead the East right now, Maple Leafs are behind them, and then it's us in third place in the Eastern Conference. Any surprises? Any surprises I'd see? I honestly say the surprise is the Capitals for them doing this well. I think that I thought they would kind of regress from last year to this year. I don't think I had them in the postseason in my predictions this year, but it looks like they're gonna do a lot of damage this year. And any surprises? I don't think there are really any surprises right here. Oh yeah, the Rangers are doing horrible right now. That's kind of surprised and they traded away some of their players, and I hate the Rangers. So, but obviously you never want to wish they do bad. So, would like to see them. Would really like to see them. Get a little bit competitive again because it's just not going well right now. Let's see. Any surprises in the Western Conference? Oh yeah, probably the biggest surprise and the biggest disappointment of the year would be the Nashville Predators. They signed all those free agents, and it just has not gone well. They have one of the worst records in the Western Conference, and I don't know what the team does from there. Do they trade, or do they trade people away? Wait and try again keep everyone try again next year. It's gonna be interesting to see what they do. But I think one of the surprises this year is the Minnesota Wild. I do not think they would be this good this year. And Kirill Kaprizov is just having an MVP caliber season. Yeah, I mean, what can you say about that team? Winnipeg Jets doing really well. I think they're not really surprised since we kind of expected them to do good. I mean, they've been good for a while, so that's not surprising. But no one's really talking about Vegas, who has the best record in the Western Conference. I mean, they just don't have any bad players. And that's been their motto this entire time. They literally just don't have any bad players on their roster. And, that's definitely a team that can make another deep playoff run if everything goes their way. The defending West champs, they're obviously one win away from the Cup last year. Edmonton, looks like they're fighting for it again. Started slow again. They started slow again, but looks like they're kind of going back up, which is pretty good. Okay, NBA now. Cavaliers are leading the West. They're really, really good. Celtics behind them, and my Knicks. And then it's just a cluster of teams that are either just like mediocre, and yeah, but I don't know what's going on with Milwaukee right now. I thought they figured things out after they won the NBA Cup, but like the Lakers last year, they are not doing well. And I don't really know. It's just gonna be an interesting race down the stretch because there's just so many teams clustered in the middle. In the West, you have OKC leading the West, which I don't think is a surprise. They're probably the best team. They're by far the best team in the West right now. But then you have Houston and Memphis, two teams that missed the playoffs last year in the 2-3. I think both those teams will be in the playoffs this year. They have outstanding young rosters that, when healthy, they can do serious damage. So obviously, Memphis has been there before because all their guys have been there. Houston has not. So it's going to be interesting with Houston to see how far they go. Yes, they have vets like Dylan Brooks, Fred VanVleet, but rest of their guys like Şengün and Jalen Green, they haven't been to the playoffs before. So it's going to be interesting how they do down the stretch to try and, secure that playoff spot and stuff like that. I really would like to see the Spurs make the playoffs with Wemby, CP3. I think they can, do a little. I think they can make some noise going forward. And that's pretty much that. All right, that's the sports talk. I know we'll go over a lot more, when when the time comes. But I'm just excited to see how we do. Oh yeah, and then you have college basketball as well. College basketball season is here. The SEC on the men's side. We're in here for a historic season of the SEC on the men's side. It's going to be incredible. It's just going to be an absolute war. I think going 500 in the conference will literally get you in the tournament. That's how good the conference is, and we're probably gonna get like 11, 12 teams in the tournament this year, which is going to be outstanding. And then I obviously don't watch as much that much women's basketball like I do men's, but I do watch I keep track of it, and I watch our women's basketball team all the time. We're 17-0. 17-0, people. 2-0 in SEC play. The women have a big game against Tennessee coming up this week. But yeah, the team looks really, really good. I mean, you have to be consistent. Obviously, you have to beat the teams you're supposed to beat. Don't lose at home. And this team can win a national championship. It's just going to really be about continuity. Can they continue it? And how well will they do against the big dogs of the country, like USC, UConn, and other teams like that? That's going to be really, really interesting. But yeah, that's our sports talk. So before winter break, I had a little business trip in New Orleans when I went to the Smoothie King Center. And, we got a chance to talk to some of the panelists to try and get jobs in the sports industry, so stuff like that. It was kind of like a professional night with some of the panelists that work for the Pelicans and Saints. It was very cool. And right now I'm going to show you the TikTok that I made. So here we go. All right, we have a little event at the Smoothie King Center in New Orleans. So yeah, let's go to it and see what it is. Fit check. It's business casual, this event. So yeah, this is what we got right here, and should be fun. We're gonna be there for quite a bit. We're gonna obviously go to the Blender. They're gonna have like panelists of like people that work for the Saints and Pelicans. They're gonna like talk to us, and then we're gonna have we're gonna get to have like one-on-one time with them to just talk to them, look for jobs in the sports industry, stuff like that, interview them, All right, we've made it to the Smoothie King Center.
We're watching the championship game.
Oh yeah, we're watching the SEC championship. How we feeling? How the vibes like?
Oh, it's cold, but we're gonna go Georgia for the win.
I've never been in this stadium. All right, panelists just finished talking. We're about to head upstairs, talk to them a little bit more, and yeah, that was some good info, right? Mm-hmm. Yes. And I managed to talk to 2 people here, and they gave some pretty good info, like working in the sports industry, stuff like that. And can you feel it? Alright, and now we have made it to floor level of a Smoothie King. Pelicans and Thunder straight ahead. Like, I am not really interested in this game at all. I'm like so focused on the SEC championship because that's obviously what interests me now. But we're still here. Unbelievable. That was absolutely incredible game in Atlanta. Georgia prevailing in overtime. Gunnar Stockton had to come with his person that got injured. He led the way. He was incredible, and they won in overtime. It was actually the first SEC championship to go to overtime. So Georgia gets a first-round bye in the college football playoff. Yeah, where we look here, Thunder put them belt to ass on the Pelicans, bro. Damn. I had to get some food because I was starving. I hadn't eaten anything all day. Unfortunately, we had to leave early because, like, the people I was carpooling with, they wanted to leave early for some reason, and Caroline also had an essay to finish before midnight. It was due tonight at midnight, so unfortunately, I was outvoted whether to stay or leave, and missed opportunity to be able to walk on the Palace Court, get a picture with all the guys and stuff like that. So unfortunate end to a pretty good day. But I did come back with some hardware, or not hardware, some apparel. I got this really cool Pelicans. I don't even know what you call this. Long sleeve warm-up shirt or whatever. But the experience was pretty good. Got to talk to some of those guys and just share. They got to share their experiences and advice on, if you get into the if you get jobs into the sports industry, what they expect from you. Just like, you gotta have passion. You just gotta have passion and energy and a willing to be your best. So that was a good experience. I mean, obviously could have been better with the ending, but you're never satisfied, with whatever you do. So I hope you guys enjoyed the vlog though. So. And there was that. So that was a lot of fun. Got to go to the Smoothie King Center for the first time and watch some basketball. It was the Thunder, so we got to watch Shea. Obviously the Pelicans have been injured and they should blow the team up, but it was fun. It was fun. So now let's get to what I did for winter break. I did not do much during winter break. Just kind of stay. I mean, I did want to go on vacation, but to be honest with you, I could not with my family because my younger brother was on a college tour, and he's just very, very stressed about getting those college applications in, and he's kind of struggling with all that. So we had to kind of help him out. He's applied to a lot of colleges, but he hasn't decided where he wants to go yet. Obviously, there's still a lot of time. I think decision day is in May 1st or something like that. But obviously, I hope he figures out soon, because I told him, when I get home for spring break or something like that, he should be committed somewhere. So, and I had a talk with him like 2 nights ago. Say, hey, you got this. Believe in yourself, and stuff like that. So we showed the New Orleans trip thing. I also went to what I did do over winter break is go to a Devils game. I went to my first one in about 3 years. It's been a long time since I've been to a Devils game, since I've been to since I got here to LSU, and it was just an incredible experience. Obviously I'm a Devils fan, so I've been going to Devils games for a long time, but I hadn't gone since college. That was the first time I went. It was just incredible. Played the Hurricanes, won that game. Here's a little montage that I made.
I got stars on the roof, make a bitch wanna fuck. Yeah, we keep that shit tucked. Whoa, we can run out our blood. I don't know, like this. That bitch wanna come to see me. Fucking up friends, I ain't paying no fee. Dropping a ride, this shit coming free.
I made that montage because the game did not feel like a regular season game. It literally felt like a playoff game in there. I could not find an empty seat. I literally could not find an empty seat in there. And it was just an incredible experience. I think I'm going to go to one I'm going to go home for spring break and go to another one since we're pretty good this year. We're probably going to make the playoffs unless everything falls apart. But we got to get going again since we've lost some games. But yeah, I'm probably going to go to another game at some point and get that great experience again. New Year's Eve, I spent it by myself, just worked out, did some food shopping. Oh no, I didn't do food shopping. I just cooked the whole time, and I watched the Penn State boys game. So didn't go out. I didn't really have any people to go out with, party with. So I just stayed home by myself. Here is the little video that I made on New Year's Eve.
A perfect picture. It's everything that it was. Have you ever gotten what you wanted? Then it falls right out your arms. I'm manipulating. I could see it in a couple months, but I was so scared to be forgotten. Didn't think it'd do harm. And I guess it really hurts, 'cause damn, I was trying. Told me it would work, but damn, you were lying. Suddenly you saw me, and now was it shiny? No, was so much I had to say, but I kept my mouth shut. 'Cause anything that caused me pain, you said it was my fault. And then you held me up just to watch my downfall. But if I have to beg for your attention, I don't want it at all. A perfect picture. It's everything that it was. Have you ever gotten what you wanted? Then it falls right out your arms. I'm a manipulator. I could see it in a couple months, but I was so scared to be forgotten. Didn't think it'd do harm. And I guess it really hurts, 'cause damn, I was trying. Told me it would work, but damn, you were lying. Suddenly you saw me, and now was it shiny? No, was so much I had to say, but I kept my mouth shut. 'Cause anything that caused me pain, you said it was my fault. And then you held me up just to watch my downfall. But if I have to beg for your attention, I don't want it at all. There's so much I had to say, but I kept my mouth shut. 'Cause anything that caused me pain, you said it was my fault. And then you held me up just to watch my downfall. But if I have to beg for your attention, I don't want it at all. But if I have to beg for your attention, I don't want it at all. But if I have to beg for your attention, I don't want it at all. But if I have to beg for your attention, I don't want it at all.
Oh yeah, and I completely forgot. And I'm gonna show you another video right now. Sorry about that. But I also made a little video about my last day of semester 5. Here it is. Morning, fellas. It is my last day here. We just got one final left. It's around 10:15 right now. We just got one final left, and then we just pack up and go home. All right, we got a fit check. Pretty simple. This shirt I actually got recently. It's like the city edition of the Knicks New Jersey, t-shirt version. And these LSU sweatpants I like always wear, like when I travel. It is an absolutely picture perfect day. I feel blessed. No clouds, perfectly sunny. It's beautiful. I think I'm gonna get some Starbucks first because why not? Took almost 20 minutes to get my order. It's usually what I get. I don't really get a drink at all, so because I have water. Alright, we're here at the library now. We just have a little bit of time before my last final. We are headed to the final now. I actually have to get it done quickly because I got to get to the airport like after, because I have to finish packing too. Alright, we finished, got an A, and now I gotta go back and finish packing. About an hour and a half actually until we leave for the airport, so I pretty much have everything packed. We're just gonna chill out, make sure I have everything, and did final adjustments to the kitchen, just clean a little bit like this side. It was so dirty, not anymore. I think we're ready to head out. See you, apartment, for now. I thought I had to hustle for a little bit, but we're chilling. Had to get some orange juice because I was craving it. Boarded, and we are on our way to Charlotte now for our first stop. All right, we landed in Charlotte, and I really have to hustle because it's like a 16-minute walk to my next gate, and it boards in 10 minutes. So really gotta hustle here. I actually made it on time, which is crazy. I literally had to jog like half the distance. So I was so worried I was gonna be late, but not worried anymore. I get all the way here just to find out it was delayed. Bro, so I jogged 3/4 of the way for nothing? That's crazy.
Any delay?
Alright, and we are back. We are back in LaGuardia, New York. It is currently 12:15. Right now, our plane was supposed to land at 10:30, but there were, I think, weather delays. So, yeah, hour and 45 delay. So, it's okay. We're here. Oh my gosh, we're home. I'm sorry, I have my shirt off. It's just, I was boiling, and I needed to do it. I am so tired and I am starving. I'm about to get some food, but yeah, there are a bit of delays, but we're good. Bro, now I gotta unpack all this. It's gonna take me like another 20-30 minutes, so hopefully I get this done quick. Now what I want to talk about is something that I want to see more of at LSU, and those are on-campus concerts. So obviously, I was in a class where we kind of make stories, packages, news stories, stuff like that. And the topic of my third one was about concerts here at LSU. I'm not going to show the video since I had to make a lot of changes to my script since my professor wanted to see some changes. I made those changes, fortunately, and so I'm just going to read out what I have here. So I say LSU students are calling for change in performances and shows of big-time artists on campus. They just want to see more and get more involved in that culture of Louisiana. So that's my intro, and then I take the package, we play the package, and then I open the package with music, performances, and parties are a huge part of that culture in Louisiana. And then my friend Taylor says, quote, "It is such a big part, like Mardi Gras, like music, that is core Louisiana." And then I say, in the package, and when LSU has its university-based performances, they are a huge success. And then my friend Cabe says, quote, I think the most notable was the Glorilla concert. Quote, it's just more like music that I've listened to and knowing a lot of her playlists. So that's Cabe. I mean, he's just listened to a lot of Glorilla. So yeah. And then I do a voiceover saying, however, the problem students face is there are only 1 or 2 concerts per year on campus, meaning limited opportunities for them to get introduced to the culture here. And then my friend Andy says, quote, just need to promote better, do more things, listen to the students. Okay. And then I do my voiceover saying, students argue that big name artists should perform on campus instead of bars for safety. Then it's a better environment and there's a lot more space. And then my friend Cabe says, again, Tigerland and all that. Well, yeah, quote, Tigerland and all that, they don't have blah, 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 where they can have a rapid response. Here on campus, they can kind of oversee it, end of quote. And then he says, quote, again, quote, but they're going to be in a safe area while they will intervene in time, end of quote. And then I go voiceover saying, but these on-campus shows are a huge investment, and the director of campus life, Josh Finch, says getting all of it isn't easy. And then he says, quote, a lot of students are really excited if they can get really big names here. That's really expensive and it takes a lot of time and energy, which is okay, but it comes with choices that have to be made. And then I say the voiceover, is the concert free? What's the best location? All those choices greatly affect the experience. And he says, quote, what do we think that the man is going to be for the experience, and where is the appropriate venue for that people can be safe, that can enjoy, and then doesn't feel so small, even though it's a pretty big concert. And then my voiceover is, that's what it's all about for students, and perhaps in the future, the university will have more on-campus shows to get the students more involved in Louisiana culture. That's my last voiceover of the package. And then my tag is, while the process of organizing campus shows remains a big challenge, students are hopeful that more frequent performances happen so they can add to their college memory book. So honestly, not my best work. Honestly, I feel like it could have been a lot better. I know there's some repeats in there, but I did this because I just kind of feel that there should be a lot more shows on here. And, we hope to see it at some point. And then I said they should perform like on campus, like even in the quad, they had the Shaquille O'Neal homecoming concert on the fields. I say, they should perform there instead of other bars and stuff like that, just because there's a lot more space. It's a lot safer, stuff like that. And yeah, I don't know. That's just kind of my opinion. Let me know what y'all think. I'm just letting you know, guys, if my mic gets a little bit too loud, I apologize. I do not know how to decrease this. There should be a setting somewhere, but I'll just kind of talk like away from it or something like that. I just like, raise my head. No, it's okay. We'll adjust accordingly. I already went over a bit of social media stuff. I did a lot of vlogs and stuff like that. Obviously, I'm kind of interacting a lot on it. I'm honestly I'm gonna interact like a little bit less this year, simply because I'm trying to just focus on myself. I am interested in someone now. For fortune, someone I'm interested in. Like, I feel like that's just the right person for me, and hopefully we can figure something out here. But what I want to go over now is my Spotify Wrapped. Here we go. So I listened to 22,301 minutes. I think that's up from last year, but it's going to be a lot more this year, I can tell you that. My top artists were Travis Scott, 88 Glam is a duo, Tate McRae, Metro Boomin, and The Weeknd. I don't think Travis Scott is a surprise. It's going to be at the top. 88 Glam is this duo that nobody knows about. They're phenomenal. Tate McRae. Yeah, that's kind of unusual to see, but hey, I just love her music. I relate to her so much, and yeah, I'm gonna keep listening to her. I'm so excited for her new album coming out February 21st. And then Metro Boomin, best producer of all time, and then The Weeknd. Obviously love The Weeknd and love his songs. Yeah, my top songs. Number 1 is Chrome Hearts, 88 Glam. Too Many Nights, Metro Boomin, Dawn. My Eyes, Travis Scott, and then two more songs by 88 Glam, Wet Dreams, and then Hellcat. I don't know. I mean, I guess I have a lot of minutes of 88 Glam, and I know I'm going to be listening to them for a while. They haven't dropped new music in a while, so as a group, and in fact, I don't think they're even together anymore, which is kind of sad. But I still have them on their playlist, so it's going to be that. But go back to Tate McRae. I think I kind of said this, like, yes, I kind of expected her to be on there, but at the same time, I feel a little bit guilty as well, since she's completely different from everyone else there. So, but hey, that's okay. Well, no one's gonna judge, right. I don't know about that. I said I was gonna go over, what was going through my mind during the winter arc. I'd say my winter arc was pretty good. Worked out a lot. Was pretty tired during a lot of winter breaks, since there were nights where I could barely sleep. Nights where I could barely sleep, just thinking about stuff. But managed to get through it. Managed to have a good amount of lifts, and like I said, I am doing this online class, which I'll talk about in a second. But yeah, just walked around a lot. Did a lot of runs. Think I got to like 4 miles or something like that. So I mean, honestly, like I went to the gym today, and I could only do 3 miles because I was like, I'm like partly sick right now because I just flew in. Because I got here yesterday, and I didn't really feel that good. So yeah, thank God, like my triceps are like stiff, and I managed to do 3 miles while partly sick. I feel like I really impressed myself with my workout today, and I think it's going to be a good semester. I think it's going to be a really, really good semester. Yeah, and hopefully a lot more can happen in the past. I mean, I feel like this is usually the time in your life where a lot more goes on. You get accepted to a lot more jobs and internships and stuff like that. And, I'm working hard to get those. So it's cool. Okay, I want to talk about this sports coaching class because something happened that you guys will not believe. So yeah, I am part of the sports coaching class, and so I had to do a presentation on how I would coach this team as if my professor is hiring me to be the head coach. So I did my presentation, and I got a 100, and he said it was in the top 5 ever. And he's been teaching that class for almost 30 years. My mind was just absolutely blown when I heard this news because I just could not believe it. I did not think that would even be like an 85 or something like that. But I mean, it was good enough to be 100 in the top 5 ever, apparently. I mean, I did read off of a lot of flashcards during a lot of it and stuff like that, but my mind is still absolutely blown. So you know what? Screw it. I'm going to show it to you guys right now. So here it is. Hello, my name is Charles Fleischer, and this is my coaching interview for the football team. And I'm sorry, my camera right here is a little bit small. I don't really have that good of a camera software, video recording software with the camera, but this is what we're going with. So why am I applying for this head coaching position? Well, this team has had championship expectations every single year due to the rich history of this program, and the team has not come close to meeting those expectations over the past half decade. The records show, statistics of players show, performance shows, and I am here to change that. I am here to change the culture of this team and revive that championship mindset. I'm not saying it was not there before, but I'm just here to give it that little extra oomph. You know what I'm saying? Extra motivation, and I'm here to just make these players love football, love each other, and just build that chemistry that'll make us an elite team. I think it'll come down to a lot of the things that I will talk about, but it's also about how badly do these players want to win a championship? How much are you willing to give to this team to win it all? How much are you willing to sacrifice your loved ones because you want to win a championship more than anything? But the players cannot just say they want to win. They gotta show it during practice, in the weight room, during games, even off the field. Their preparation, taking care of their bodies, and all those little details that I will emphasize a ton. The buy-in of this team is going to be very important as we progress throughout the season. Them being able to create that bond, that love between each other is going to be very important, because the more connected a team is, the better they are, and the expectations of this team is that we win a national championship. I mean, it's as simple as that. And every player's expectation, I want every player to have an individual expectation, set goals amongst themselves, but it's just simply to contribute as much as they can to help us win. We got 100+ guys on this team. It'll literally take everybody to win it all, since college football is so competitive these days. So my coaching philosophy, I'm going to help motivate these athletes, and help them grow as individuals on and off the field, build a positive, competitive, and supportive environment. And I just say that success is not measured by wins and losses. It's measured by how you grow as an individual, and how much you grow, how much the team grows in general. With the competitive part, I'm kind of taking a page out of Kenny Dillingham's book here, but in one interview one day, I saw that he said he wants competitive guys that will compete for anything, like other than football. I think he said something was like ping pong or something like that. Well, that's what I'm looking for as well. Like, if you're not a competitive person, like, I do not want you on this team. Simple as that. And in order to have good coaching philosophy, you have to set standards for yourself. Say, what are the expectations of this team, and what are the expectations of every single individual player? Like I said before, each player must have an individual goal besides helping the team win a championship, so they can be successful and related to real life. Nick Saban always relates football and the lessons he teaches to real life, and that's what I'm trying to do to the players as well. Send them a message that will help them in the real world, for maybe when they're not playing football anymore. And they have families and lifelong jobs, and other things like that. I want to go over styles of coaching, because there's three main ones. There's command, submissive, and cooperative. Command style is where the coach makes all the decisions, organizes everything, draws up every play, and it's the athlete's role to follow every single command that the coach gives. The submissive style is where the coach makes minimal decisions and just kind of lets the players play, and only gets involved if there are any like disciplinary problems and things like that. To be honest with you, it's really not the best way to coach, and you'll almost never see the style, because a lot of coaches are just very passionate about what they do, and they really, really, really want to win. And but the third one, and the one that I have decided to be, I will use, is the cooperative style. This is where coaches and players like share their thoughts, their ideas, and decision making on how they can win games. And you tend to see this a lot in the NBA and the NFL. Like, some coaches will ask like veteran players like what they like here. Like, what do you like here? Like, what play do you like here? Or what's the best play in this situation? Like 3rd and long. What's the best play? What play can we get to our receiver that'll work best? And obviously our job as coaches is to put all 11 guys on the field in a position to make big plays, and I'm very confident that our players will get along well enough to agree on specific plays in different situations. And the entire coaching staff, which, by the way, I plan to hire as good of a coaching staff as there is in the country. We're going to use a cooperative style, and I think it'll work really, really well. Having good character. How do you teach to have good character and sportsmanship? How do you teach good decision making? How do you motivate your athletes? These things are honestly pretty difficult to teach to kids like 18 to 22 year olds, because normally they're all taught normally they're taught like all these disciplinary things at a much younger age, like early in high school. But hey, sometimes students come in and they do not have the best character or sportsmanship, decision making, and motivation, or it can be way better. Well, it's easy to say it's easy to say how to teach them, and there are many ways, but it takes a lot of work. It takes a lot of work over time. For sportsmanship, you have to lead by example. Lead by example. Go up to the coach, shake their hand after everything, say them, good game, good luck going forward. Tell the players to go up to the opposing players, shake their hands, say good game to them as well. And you have to set expectations for yourself. Have a positive attitude. Encourage players to understand others' thoughts, such as pressure situations and strategy. Use mistakes as teaching points. Say, okay, you made this mistake, but you don't want to make the same mistake twice, or that's bad. In terms of decision making, very important that you encourage critical thinking. We're going to use a lot of that. I plan to use a lot of that. Drawing up scenarios that will help a lot, like when a defense dials up a blitz or they do that too high safety look. What's the best decision the quarterback needs to make? What's the best decision to get the ball out to what receiver? Definitely watching film certainly helps with that. And, our players are going to be required to watch a lot of film. I'm going to encourage them to watch a lot of film. Teach simple frameworks like evaluating the risks and rewards of the plays and consequences before making those decisions. Encourage athletes to really trust themselves with their own decisions and learn from the outcomes. Tie sports decision making to real life situations, like Nick Saban said, time management, conflict resolution, things like that. For motivation, this is probably the hardest one because there's really no right or wrong way to motivate athletes. You can be as inspiring and motivational as possible, but sometimes it still won't work with specific players. So you kind of have to get a little bit technical with it. What I mean by this is you want to help each athlete set specific, measurable, and attainable goals, and you want to celebrate those goals too. Celebrate those milestones that players achieve, whether individual or team based. You want to provide meaningful feedback, meaning you want to balance constructive criticism with positive reinforcement. You want to say, hey, you're not doing this right. You can do this better. It's critical, but it's also positive, saying, all right, let's do this better. Ask the athletes what they want to achieve, and you work towards those goals. And again, celebrate those. Celebrate small victories and improvements, even in losses, and even share some stories with your players. Like, I know I am going to bring in a lot of guest speakers to encourage our players to be successful. So you can never inspire someone too much or too little, but here you have to have enough motivation to win a national championship, which is obviously our team goal. Communication, the importance of communicating with athletes, families, colleagues, and other friends. This is huge, and it builds a lot of character within a team. It'll give you a lot of insights and information on what the athlete is like, his personalities, his hobbies, if there's anything we can do to improve him as a person. And again, very important that we build relationships that last for a long time. I know I'm going to be connecting with a lot of the athletes and their families, and I think it's very important. This really all ties back to the last slide about motivation and all that, because if you build good relationships with a lot of people on your team and community, your character will just soar above everyone else's. You're gonna be the most loved coach in the community. Spending outside time with those people will help you a lot in life. Obviously, obviously there's all like that football communication with like hand signals, silent counts, sideline gestures, things like that. Those will practice on the field. That kind of communication will practice during practice, but it's very important for our athletes to improve their verbal communication, their verbal communication skills off the field as well, because your personality is shown so much more off the field than it is on the field. Off the field, your personality really, really comes in. It really shines because you're interacting with so many other people outside of your teammates, and you really want to emphasize the time they have to make an impact in the community and things like that, while also avoiding distractions as well, and try to just not let anybody get to you and things like that. All right, here's a big one. Got rules and guidelines. Just move my camera a little bit here. Rules and guidelines. Show up to practice. Show up on time to practice. Showing up late will result in extra conditioning. I don't know, nobody wants that. Extra running, stuff like that. This is big. Any acts of hazing, bullying, starting fights, disrespecting teammates will result in a suspension for a practice and limited reps going forward. As you know, it's pretty self-explanatory, and you're expected to treat everyone with respect, no matter if you like him or not. Sportsmanship is required, no matter the outcome of the game. If you are a sore loser, you are not on this team. You are not representing this football team well, and proper language is required. Any foul language is not tolerated. It will result in limited reps, even though they're old enough to swear. They are not allowed to swear, and proper language is required. Yeah. Sorry, I got a little confused for a sec. Yeah, any foul language will result in punishments. I just think to myself, if you're not using good language, you're just not educated. That's as simple as that. Like, if you're gonna swear all the time, you're just not really a good student of the game. If you know what I mean. That's kind of my opinion. And you must hold yourself accountable and take responsibility for your actions. Blaming others for losses and setbacks will absolutely not be tolerated. On this team, there will also be punishments like suspensions and limited reps, like that going forward. If that happens, okay. More rules. You obviously must attend every practice, every workout, even if injured. Even if you're injured, just stay ready. Just be there, support the team. Be prepared, stay focused, and give 100% every second of the day. That includes if you're injured as well. Just, stay focused, because you never know what might happen. For games, be prepared, arrive to the facility on time, and respect the officials. You do not want to talk to the officials at all. Just don't talk to them. Let the coaches handle them. If you get frustrated, you might draw a penalty. If you get frustrated, you might draw a penalty, and it might cost the team. So respect the officials. Very important, like if somebody during the game is down and injured, you must give that hand signal to the bench to report. Coach interactions, very important that you interact with the coaches to try and improve yourself, help do the reps better, and things like that. Team group chats, there will be a lot of team group chats amongst you guys. Very important that you respect each other during the group chat. Keep it professional, keep it friendly, stuff like that. Maintain team spirit, even if you're not playing. Support them, cheer loud, get engaged, encourage the fans to get loud when we're on defense, and things like that. Anything. And off the field discipline needs to be precise on social media, even when you go out, just basic things like that. And, any breaking of these rules could result in suspensions, limited reps, extra running, and at worst, kicked off the team. I actually put this at the bottom here at the last second before doing this presentation. Caught use of drugs without being prescribed by a doctor, use of alcohol or smoking, vaping, using marijuana or any substances like that, and stealing. If any of those two rules are broken, it will be an immediate dismissal of the team. Boom, simple as that. That doesn't really need an explanation. All right, We'll move this up here. Here for this one. Okay, training slash practice slash workouts. All practices and workouts during the late winter, spring, and summer will be the hardest because you're obviously training for that very first game. You got to be ready for that first game. During the summer, it will take up a majority of the morning and a little bit of the afternoon, and the rules apply to every practice and workout. The reason why we have all the workouts and practices in the early morning and during the hottest part of the day is simply to build that resiliency and build that stamina. A game lasts 3 hours. We need to best prepare these guys to go at full speed for 3 hours, 120 plus plays, while playing the game the right way as well, and using proper technique for every play. During the late winter and spring, we'll have optional team workouts and practices because sometimes not everyone is here yet. But as we get towards March and the spring game, we will have full-on practices with everybody. Everybody is required to show up. And as expected, obviously the rules apply to every practice and workout. You have to come prepared, treat every rep like it's your last, stay focused, have a positive attitude, and be engaged. Pretty self-explanatory. Nutrition and health. So we have a lot of nutritionists, students as well, that will keep track of their nutrition. Very important to stay healthy. Carbohydrates, protein, fat, vitamins, minerals, and water. Those are the most important food groups that you must have in your body. And I cannot stress this enough. It is extremely important to have a balanced diet. This at the bottom is just what I recommend. Obviously, some coaches have it differently, but this is what I recommend. About 50% carbs, 20 to 30% protein, and 10 to 30% fat. And obviously drink a lot of water and fluids. Make sure you have enough water because obviously during the summertime it can get very hot. As an athlete, it's also very important to keep track of when you eat as well as eating the proper amount of food. Not too much, not too little. It will all depend on obviously it will all depend on how players feel, but my best recommendation specifically will be to have a small setting of food before practice. Make sure it's healthy, and then for dinner, eat a good amount. Obviously not too much, but eat a proper amount and do not eat again for the rest of the night. No dessert, no other food, no nothing. The only exception is, like I said before, water and fluids, because during the summer it's very hot and the bodies go through a lot and during those practices and workouts. So players must hydrate. Water, Gatorade, and nothing else. That's what I recommend. Especially no soda, Sprite, Coca-Cola, or anything like that. The facility will also provide meals for the players if they would like. I will make sure we have 5-star chefs who cook up great meals for the athletes and are as healthy as possible. Okay, building a program that lasts. Sometimes a coach comes in and it lasts a long time, like Nick Saban did. Sometimes it doesn't. Sometimes it lasts only a year. That's not good. But we're going to establish a hard-working culture that will carry over to the next team, next beyond those. Well, how do we do that? These are just 3 things, but I'm going to go over a lot more. Recruiting players and coaches, develop our players really well, player development, financial stability, and maintain a strong fan base, and present everything to the best of our abilities. Building a football team that stands the test of time already requires a lot of work, with recruiting and the transfer portal being chaotic. But it requires a combination of strong leadership, a supportive culture, strategy, and sustained development. All those little details mean the most in a college football team, especially in a blue blood like this one. We're going to prioritize player development a lot. We're going to focus on improving technical, tactical, and physical aspects of every player. We're going to teach leadership skills, discipline skills, and decision making to help players grow on and off the field. And we're going to create a lot of opportunities for players to advance, such as college scouting or leadership roles and other things like that. Um, we're going to teach players to learn from losses and challenges, learning to overcome challenges, stay open to evolving play styles and techniques to stay competitive, since the competition is in the NCAA is only getting better. Competition in the FBS is it's getting a little crazy these days, especially now with the 12-team playoff. Everyone's trying to get in that. But, we have to train every single player to be ready for action, because injuries happen, and those backups and third stringers have to be ready if their name is called. We're also going to continue to embrace the rich tradition of this program and continue to do every ritual, pregame chants, awards, etc. We're going to invest like crazy. I know for a damn fact we're going to invest like crazy. We're going to ensure the team has access to quality fields, equipment, locker rooms. We're going to build the best locker room ever. Use video analysis, use a lot of technology, fitness trackers, and other tools to enhance performance. And if there are any ideas, and I cannot stress this enough, if there are any ideas or new training methods that either the coaches or players come up with, they should express themselves. They are greatly capable of expressing themselves to me or anybody else on how they can make himself and the team better. We're also going to have a lot of community events to build those strong ties. We're going to encourage We're going to encourage the players to engage their families in a couple team events to create a supportive environment. There's going to be a lot of participation in local events or volunteer work to build goodwill and loyalty and fan engagement. I think we have the best fan base in the country, right? They've been waiting too long for another championship, and so we're going to cultivate this dedicated fan base and through outreach and visibility in the community. We're going to do everything we can to build a winning program, but it's got to take everyone. It's a collective effort, and but I have strong belief that we can do it. Physical and emotional safety. Putting players in the best position to be successful, that's going to be very important. It will be the coach's responsibility to teach athletes to control their emotions and make sure you're playing the game in the safest way. We're going to teach the right technique very, very well to all of our players, and set boundaries for yourself. Set rules for yourself, set things that you will do and will not do, and things like that. The emotional part of football is definitely a lot more difficult to teach than the physical part of football. At the same time, teaching physical technique is not really the easiest, as it takes a lot of reps and a lot of work to perfect the technique. Obviously, football players love to hit, especially those safeties and receivers and linebackers and tackle. Love to tackle as well. But they must learn how to do it properly, and obviously we're gonna have a bunch of drills on how to on those kinds of things, like pad level. The linemen love to flatten guys and stuff like that. Pad level with the linemen, penetration using your hands and things like that. Penetration with the defensive linemen. The emotional part of football is a lot, because it's a stressful game. It's a very stressful game at times, if you allow it to be. Some players don't feel pressure at all. Like, look at Quinn Ewers and Cam Ward. If you watch them play, they look like they're not stressed at all. 100% poised every single play. But obviously some players lose it, and sometimes it can cost the team the whole game with a costly penalty or something like that. So we're gonna do a lot of things. We're going to do a lot of things and drills and pressure situations, so the players can learn to control their emotions and not get frustrated. One thing we're going to do a lot of is planning ahead. Planning ahead is going to be very important. Sorry, my computer looked a little dark there for a second. One thing we're going to do is planning ahead. We're always going to have a backup play. Always have a backup plan or play in a situation where this play might not work, or things like that. We're going to do a lot of deep breathing, which calms nerves, down sometimes, not all the time. We're going to analyze a bunch of situations, and if something doesn't go the way it's planned, we adjust accordingly. Simple as that. There's not a lot to control. Well, there's not a lot. There is a lot. There is a lot to controlling emotions during big time games, but the most important thing I will say is going to be having your brothers beside you the whole time. They're going to be the ones that are going to be there for you when you need it the most, and I'm going to emphasize that a lot. I'm going to emphasize that they have to build a relationship that lasts forever. Got to love each other, got to support each other, got to pick themselves up, and yeah. All right, that is my presentation. I did not use any outside sources. I only used the textbook and the class notes provided to be very useful for all my information. And yeah, that was my coaching interview. Thank you. Yeah, I don't even know how that got a 100. That's mind-boggling to me. So damn. We're gonna go over what's happening this semester. It's gonna start with the Super Bowl ambassador program that I'm very, very excited about. It's gonna be happening in New Orleans. I have orientation on Friday the 10th, and I think Cam Jordan is gonna be there as well. So if I get a picture with him, it's definitely going on social media. But about this ambassador program, we're gonna be like set up in different locations in New Orleans and like our headquarters in like downtown and stuff like that. And we're just kind of be like helping the fans out, just, guiding the fans, through New Orleans during their time in the Super Bowl. And I feel like it's going to be, a lot of fun. And yeah, I'm excited. I mean, I obviously don't know what this is about. I will get a lot more information before like when I go to orientation, but yeah, I mean, we'll get our uniform as well. Yeah, I feel like it's going to be a lot of fun. You guys will see plenty of videos and stuff like that, but hopefully it's good. I do have a friend that's doing it as well, so I have someone there that'll like, but I'm meeting completely new people here. So yeah, and then I have four shifts that last about 5 hours. So I might miss a couple classes. It's the 2 weeks before the Super Bowl. So very high chances I might miss a couple classes. I'm really going to have to like speak to my professors about that. But I am also going to Super Bowl opening night in the Superdome, and I'm very excited about that. It's going to be like a vlogging thing. I was given 50% off for tickets, and I'm also going to the Super Bowl experience at that convention center as well. The group is trying to figure out a way to get free tickets to that, so we can go have fun, get a picture with the Lombardi Trophy and stuff like that. And I'm very, very excited. I'm going to be in New Orleans a lot. For this month, next month, and I think it's going to be really fun. I mean, I think I will be safe as well. I know what happened there recently is not good, unacceptable, tragic, but I think I'm going to be fine. I know I'm going to be fine. I have I can just call the police if something happens, but I think it'll be okay. Also, I got hired as a referee for LSU UREC intramural sports, and I'm actually very excited about this because I've never refereed before. I have never done officiating before, so I'm excited about this. There's obviously a lot of training to it. I have a supervisor that's going to help me out with everything. And hopefully we can have some fun. Hopefully I can just have fun watching some of the guys play basketball and football and stuff like that. And hopefully I can learn a lot. Hopefully I can learn a lot about fishing. I think it's going to be very good for the resume in terms of sports stuff. It'll be very good when I'm trying to get sports jobs in the future. So yeah, and then classes for next semester. I have this class called Mass Media Law. I don't know what that's about yet, but obviously I'm not going to know till Monday. So, and then I have another class where you make those stories like I had last semester. I have another one of those classes, but it's called Advanced Broadcast News. So hopefully that's a lot of fun. And then I have Intro to Public Relations. So yeah, and then I have this class called it's like the top diversity. It's kind of like a diversity course, which hey, I guess it's about diversity, but I'm gonna go find out soon, and hopefully I can learn a lot from it. I think the semester is going to be a lot of fun. I know. It's there's a lot going to be going on this semester. There's this other job with like an LSU athletics team that I still have yet to be gotten back to, but I think I think one of the interns is going to get back to me very soon. So hopefully we can figure something out because I'm actually very, very interested in this specific role here. So and he said he was glad I was interested because I think they're kind of looking for people. So hopefully I can get that, and I'm really just hoping I can get through this semester without any problems or any setbacks, any really, really difficult challenges. Hopefully this just can be as smooth as it can get. I know, I know the fact that if you don't challenge yourself, you're not going to get things done, but I am going to do that a lot. I hope I can just create challenges for myself to just like get these assignments done at a specific time beforehand or something like that. So I can just, do what I want in my free time. So yeah, guys, that is going to be it for this episode of the Yap House Podcast. Thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure you guys like and subscribe, and I hope you guys have a great day.